Hello students, I am Safia, your science teacher. Today we are continuing the topic soil and life. In the last two videos we have discussed about different characteristics of soil and we have also learned about the properties of soil. Moisture content and as well as substances present in the soil and percolation rate of soil. Now we are going to learn about different layers of soil. So soil which looks as a single layer actually is not single layer, it is made up of different layers. The study of that different layers is called as soil profile. That means today we are going to learn about soil profile. So soil is actually made up of different layers. So one by one I am drawing a rough sketch just for understanding. I will be giving you the picture of soil profile in the last of the video. So here if you see this, this is soil for example. If this is the structure of the earth crust, then layer by layer we are going to learn about the soil profile. So the first layer which we are going to learn here is O horizon. This horizon is also called as surface layer. There are the alternate names of these layers or the horizons. So soil profile constitute collectively it is made up of different layers or horizons of soil. So first horizon, the first layer is O horizon. It is also called as surface layer. In O horizon you can find this layer is made up of humus, organic matter and as well as inorganic material. The soil present here is fertile. It has more fertility because here humus is present and as well as because of dry leaves and all this layer has become more fertile. All the maximum living organisms like plants and animals will live in this layer. Okay, and the next layer after O horizon is A horizon. A horizon. A horizon is beneath O horizon and above E horizon. So A layer is beneath O horizon and above E horizon. That means it is in between O and E. So this layer is also called as topsoil. In this layer there are the minerals. Here also fertility of soil is present and as a result the roots and seeds of the plants will grow from this layer. The roots of the plants are present in this layer. This layer is also a fertile layer which has many nutrients and because of this plants can penetrate up to here. And next layer which is present after A horizon is E horizon. E horizon is present in between the A horizon and B horizon. Between A and B which horizon is present? E horizon. E horizon is also called as alluviation layer. This layer is also fertile and here it contains sand and slip. If you see the color of this E horizon, it is light in color comparing to the other horizons. That is because continuous dripping of water. Because your soil particles are present and all are present, water will be penetrating into deep, into other surface layers. So as it is going deep, along with the water, some minerals which are present here will also go to the next layer. So that's why the color of this layer is very light. So this layer is this E horizon or alluviation layer. O horizon is also called as surface layer. A horizon is called as topsoil. E horizon is called as alluviation layer. B horizon is also called as subsoil layer. It is beneath the E horizon and above the C horizon. That means it is in between E and C horizon. B horizon have deposits of clay and minerals. How it got the clay and minerals? From the upper layer, that is from alluviation layers and other layers. It has the deposits of minerals like calcium carbonate and oxides. So this was about B horizon, that is subsoil. After B horizon we have this layer that is called as C horizon. C horizon is also called as regolith. This horizon consists of broken bedrocks. You know, bedrocks will be, rock will be present, and if it is broken, how the pieces will be seen? Same pieces are seen in the sea horizon. So that's why based on that they have named it as regolith. In these horizon, plant roots cannot penetrate. They can come up to only elevation layer. Later on, the other layers, the roots of the plants cannot penetrate. And the last horizon, which is after the sea horizon, is called as R horizon. It is R horizon and the last horizon. R horizon consists of only the rock. Complete bedrock is present in this horizon, and the name of this R horizon is bedrock. So as we know here, O, A, E, B, C, R are the horizons, and we have the alternate names of these horizons. A horizon is called as surface leader. O horizon is called as surface leader. A horizon is called as topsoil. In this layer only seeds can germinate and the roots of plants can penetrate, and here it is more fertile layer. Next one is E horizon. It is also called as alluviation or the leaching layer. Then the B horizon is called as subsoil, and C horizon is called as regolith. R horizon is called as bedrock. So the study of this is completely called as soil profile. So the soil scientists will be studying about the soil profile. So who will be, why this soil profile is required? This soil profile is required by the engineers and by the farmers to know. To start a kind of cultivation, they need to know the fertility of the soil and as well as the alkalinity of the soil. Or to know the properties of soil, the farmers and the engineers will get their soil tested. So why the engineers? That is because if they want to construct a multi-storied building, then they should know the percolation rate of soil. Right? We have learned percolation rate and retention rate. Based on that, they will decide how many stored building can be constructed at a place. So this was about the horizons, and the study of these horizons is called as soil profile. So first of all, how soil formation has been taken place. In the starting introduction part, I said that soil is formed from the rock. So parent material of soil is rock. For example, rock is present here. So as a rock is present here, because of continuous temperature, sunlight, water and heat, slowly these rock particles will start eroding. If for example, if I have some, for example, if this is rock, continuously it is coming in contact with air, continuously with water, continuously with some other natural things. So what happens here, this will start falling little. In the same way, the rock particles have started eroding. As they get eroded here, the inorganic matter, inorganic means which is non-living, rock particles started falling down, and along with this, humus are the fertile soil. So dead organisms like plants, animals, excretion of animals have combined with this inorganic material. Both combined together and soil has been formed. So that's why soil has both organic materials and inorganic materials. So because of weathering of the soil particles have been formed, and this is how soil formation has taken place. And the next one here is, we have discussed about the percolation rate and the retention rate of soil. So we know that clay soil have more retention than other soils, and sandy soil has more percolation than other soils. That means sandy soil cannot hold water for more time. More water can be passed through the soil particles. That is what high percolation rate. Whereas in clay particles, as they are very small particles, they are bound together very closely, so they can hold water for more time. So farmers will get to know that percolation rate, and they will decide what kind of soil is suitable for what kind of plant. For example, if you want to grow the plants like sugarcane and the paddy, they will be choosing the clay soil because these plants need more water. So which kind of soil will hold more water? That is clay soil. The same way, if they want to grow pulses or something, they will go for red soil. Red soil is sandy soil. That means pulses does not need more water than the cotton or the paddy or sugarcane. So this is how they, based on the type of soil, they will be deciding the type of crops to be grown. And here we have discussed about soil erosion in the lesson Forests Are Life. There I said, what is soil erosion? Washing away of fertile layer of soil is called as soil erosion. Soil erosion can take place because of different things, like because of grazing of animals, soil erosion can take place. Where is the fertile layer of soil? Here, right? O and A horizon. So let us talk about O horizon. So when the grazing animals will come and eat the grass, along with grass they will be eating the fertile layer. Okay, soil will be spilling here and there. And as a result, the fertility of the soil will be decreasing. If the fertility of soil decreases, productivity of the crop will decrease. That means it will be lost for the farmers. So to avoid soil erosion, farmers they have made different ideas. So not only because of grazing animals, soil erosion can take place because of heavy rainfall, floods. That is what floods are because of heavy wind storm, when winds will be blowing with lot of force and all. So the upper layer, which is fertile, may wash away because of flooded water, or it can be flew because of the heavy wind and all. So that means they have to fix this layer to the ground itself. So to fix that, the farmers will use small grass plants, weeds, which are not useful, but they are not useful in eating manner, but they are useful in avoiding soil erosion. So we have seen grass. So grass will be completely present, sticking to the ground. So if soil layer is fertile, then the roots and the grass will grow very perfectly, that it will hold the upper layer of the soil. In this way, soil erosion can be avoided. Now telling that, around their fields, farmers will grow big trees. Because of that big trees, the air cannot come into their farm and it cannot spoil or it cannot take away the upper layer of soil. This is how soil conservation is very, very important. And along with soil conservation, crop rotation is also important for the farmers. So farmers, it is, for example, if they are going on growing same kind of crop, then what will happen? The micronutrients which are present in the soil will decrease. For example, if what are the three micronutrients? That is nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. So for example, these three are micronutrients. So these are the micronutrients required by the soil. So for example, if a plant is using more potassium, banana need more potassium to grow. For example, I am growing banana first time. So first harvesting will be good, I will get good quality of bananas. Those will be good and all. Second time also I am growing same banana. So already the potassium level has decreased in the soil. So what will happen? The fruits will be good, but those will be not that much good as first harvesting. Now in the same way again, third time I am cultivating the same plant. Again what will happen? Deficiency will take place, and as a result it will affect the soil fertility and the productivity rate of the crop. So to avoid this, what farmers should do? They should do crop rotation. Now they have to grow the plant which requires nitrogen or phosphorus. So in this way what happens here? So this will be taken, this potassium, because of soil can produce that potassium automatically by using the natural fertilizers like dung, the other fertilizers. The farmers, we can manage these levels. So in this way, that means crop rotation is must and should to avoid or to increase the soil fertility. So to improve the soil fertility, soil conservation and crop rotation is must and should for the farmers. So this was the detailed study about pedology, part of pedology which we have learned, that is what soil science. So in soil science where there are different things to learn, we have learned part of it. So I think everyone is going through it and listen to the videos carefully and go through the notes perfectly and properly. I know it is little confusing, but it is very easy. I have made those into 4 parts that you won't be confused. Okay students, go through the videos perfectly and properly. Read well, write well. Thank you.